Howdy, it's Marco from Luso Overland. Real simple video today doing the battery tray and tie down and J-hook replacements on this Gen 3 Mitsubishi Montero. That's 2001 to 2006. This is a pretty common problem with these because the original battery trays, you see that, how the plastic can just tear right through? Some of them, the early production ones, like 2001, 2002, I think they just had plastic, and then later Mitsubishi reinforced it with a metal ring inside here. And this one had the metal ring, but at some point it fell out, and then the J-hook was pointed directly on the plastic, and it broke. Here's the parts that I'm going to be using today. The genuine OEM tie-down. We've got our aftermarket battery tray. You can see it has the metal inserts in the eyelets there. And there's the part number. And then we do have the OEM J-hooks available for the Gen 3, but we're not going to be using them. This is a good example of something where we can save some money and just go with, generic stuff that you would find at an auto parts store. So we're actually going to be using the Superstart battery hold down bolts. These were from O'Reilly, and they sell them in two lengths, an 8-inch and a 10-inch. And the OEM ones, wouldn't you know it, are 8 1/4. So the 8-inch ones are too short to work. So we went with the 10-inch ones. But 10-inch ones don't work either because they'll hit the top of the hood. So I went ahead and cut these down using an angle grinder. You can use anything though, of course, like a hacksaw or a bandsaw or whatever you got, down to 8 3/4 inches. So I have an extra 1/2 inch of length than the OEM ones, which will be handy if I ever decide to change the battery size on this vehicle and just need some flexibility there. All right, battery's out. This battery tray then just lifts right out. And next thing you're going to do is remove the coolant reservoir. It just pulls right up off of this mount, so you can just pull it out like that. And then you've got this wire harness back here. You just take a flathead screwdriver and insert it behind this little tab, and then that will allow you to pull the wiring harness off of this mount right here. And then there are 3 12mm bolts to remove the battery tray, and then there's also this 10mm hiding in the corner. All right, battery tray is in. The rest of this is just the reverse of disassembly, but I did want to point out a couple things. So on the battery tray, you want to make sure that you've got your metal grommets in those eyes, of course, so that this problem doesn't happen again. The bigger flare of the grommet goes on the inside of the tab, because your J-hooks will be on the inside of that tab. And also, if they ever fall out, they'll fall into the battery tray so you don't lose them. Secondly, the 2 metal mounts on either side for the coolant reservoir or the wire harness, if they're, they can get bent out in shipping. So if they're bent out like that and contacting either reservoir, you just want to grab them and pull them back and make them straight. So if there's a gap in here, nothing's rubbing. And then on these aftermarket J-hooks that I got from O'Reilly, the hook at the bottom I think is a little narrower than the OEM ones. So sometimes you can have a problem as you're trying to come straight down and get them to fit. If that happens, just come in from an angle like this with them lying down, and then they'll go right into place like that. Let's see. So as I mentioned, I had shortened these down from 10 to 8 3/4. You can see there's the bit that I chopped off on both of them. All right, all buttoned up here. Pretty simple job. Anybody can do this. Yeah, don't go crazy when you tighten on these. Just tight enough to keep that battery secure. You don't need to go ham on it. And good opportunity to clean up all your posts and everything before you connect your battery. Yeah, so just wanted to show the install of this with our battery tray, and then also with a little different spin on it by cutting down the generic O'Reilly 10-inch J-bolts. They don't quite fit as well, and they need that modification versus the OEM ones that we sell on LusoOverland.com, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show that little mod if you want to save some money. That's it, you guys. Be sure to check out LusoOverland.com, and I'll have all these parts linked in the description.